everybody, this is Mr. McCreary, and here's a brief video on how to write an annotated bibliography. Okay, first off, students should try to pick a topic. So let's say a student, for our purposes here, wanted to choose the topic of capital punishment or the death penalty. Well, the first thing they would do is start looking for good academic sources. Of course, there's lots of books in the library. There's articles, many different types of articles, different websites that might be related to that topic. I can't recommend strong enough the databases that are available through our North Penn library website, including EBSCOhost and others. All students receive the sheet which gives them the ability to access these databases at home if they kind of follow the instructions on the sheet. So I would strongly encourage students to take a look at those databases as well. So let's say a student is searching online and they come across this article, which comes from a website called Capitalism Magazine, and so they read it over. They deem that this is a credible, reliable source on their topic, and now they're going to actually sit down and write out the annotation portion of the project. Well, they're going to start by putting the source down in MLA format. Now, there's different formats that different schools use. North Penn generally uses the MLA format. So let me show you how you can access some information to learn how to actually do that. First, to access that information, if you need help on citing the source properly, go to the North Penn High School website, and up at the top, click on where it says Library. Now, when you click on that link, it's going to take you to the library website, and you are going to search down on the left-hand side for bibliography help. When you click on that, it's going to open up a page which is going to give you a lot of information on how to do a bibliography and how to cite the sources that you need. There are 3 companies down below that have links there, which allow students to actually have these sites do the formatting for them. They just input into the website all the information about their source, kind of choose what format to use, which we of course are using MLA, and the website does all the formatting for the students, so that when they actually are finished with that, they can just copy and paste the citation into whatever document they are using. Once they do that, they now have to sit down and write out what is called the annotation. And the annotation is going to have 2 parts. The first part is a thorough summary, which is going to give a full summary of the source of what I would find as the teacher if I went to that source. So really the student is not giving any opinions in this part, basically just a thorough summary of what the source is about, what it has, what it offers, so to speak. The second part of the annotation is the student's own personal evaluation of the source, and this is where the student would give some opinions as to what is good about this source and what may not be all that good about the source as well. So for example, this particular article, as you can see, based on what I wrote there, is a very one-sided, opinionated viewpoint of capital punishment. So if you were searching for this particular viewpoint, this article would be a good one. If you are searching for a variety of opinions on capital punishment, then this is not a source that you'd want to use. Also, if you're looking for a lot of details, a lot of statistical information, then this source would not be a good one to use. So basically the student is evaluating the source, saying what's good about it, what's not so good about it, in that section of the annotation. So basically, according to the directions, if a student, let's say, has to do 6 sources for this particular assignment, they are doing all this 6 different times, and that would be making up their annotated bibliography. So the citation and then both parts of the annotation would be done for each of the sources that they have to do for this assignment. Now, to get more information as to what specifically goes in each part and how to write out the actual annotation, a student could go back to the high school webpage. This time, click on the teacher link up at the top right-hand corner. That would bring them to a list of teacher pages. They're going to scroll down to where my name is and click on it. And when they do, they'll get to my website. And they're then going to click on the left-hand side where it says Sociology, and that page is going to come up. They're going to scroll down to the very bottom of that page until they get to the heading Annotated Bibliography Project. And as you can see there, I have a number of links which are going to give a lot of resources for students to not only review the directions, of all the nuts and bolts of like how many sources are required and so forth. But there's a lot of links there which are going to teach them how to write the annotated bibliography, what goes where, a list of topics that they could choose from, research tips if they're having trouble finding sources, some frequently asked questions from students and my responses, sample annotated bibliographies, and then also some more tips there in terms of students who are having trouble actually writing the annotation. So check out that website, check out all the links, and that'll give you more than enough information on how to actually do the project. So for our purposes, the research project is going to have two parts. I just explained what goes in the annotated bibliography portion of the project. Next, the student has to create a reflection paper. So when it's all said and done, the student is going to be handing in the annotated bibliography with the correct amount of sources and the annotations for each, as well as the reflection paper. So let's talk about the reflection paper here to wrap things up. In the directions, you'll see this segment of the directions, which gives some insight into what a student would write about in the reflection paper. Things like, what did they learn? What did this mean to them? This is where they get to share their own personal opinions as to the topic they chose. So in our cases here, I put down the topic of capital punishment. This is where the student gets to tell me what their own personal opinions are in relation to that particular topic. Some other things that they could write about are there as well. Did their opinions change after their research or get stronger? One or two big takeaway items from the research? What stood out to them, if something jumped out to them or surprised them about their research or what they found, that would go in that section as well. If they had more time, what direction would they go in next? If they were curious to find out more about capital punishment. So all those things are fair game in the reflection paper. How long the paper would be is explained in the directions, and that would be different based on the class that they're in there. So that pretty much is going to do it. The project involves two different parts, the annotated bibliography and the reflection paper. So now it's just a matter of getting to work. As always, if students are having problems with anything, they can certainly let me know. They can contact me during class, after school, email me. I'll be glad to help out. If I do not hear from students, I must assume everything's fine. So if something is not fine, students need to stop in and talk to me, and I'll be glad to offer any assistance I can. Well, folks, that wraps things up. This is Mr. McCreary. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.